It was late in the afternoon, when John received a message from one of the dock hands, working on the shoreline in the fishing port. There was a package for him to pick up. John wasn't expecting anything, and he was sure he didn't order anything. He knew he had double of what he needed for Smokies, and everything was in order. Emily walked into Smokies, and sat down, at her favorite table, next to the fireplace, waiting on John to come and take her order. John walked over, and sat down opposite Emily. "I have to go to the port, to collect something," John said. "If you want some company, I'm free," Emily replied. Emily made her order and John went away to make it. Later that evening, John and Emily set off to the port. Emily had talked John into taking her car, and not John's. Emily's car was a 1957 Chevrolet Bel Air convertible, in light blue. She loved the classic cars and had fallen in love with it, the moment she had seen it online. She loved driving, as it gave her the freedom to see her world and to be herself. They drove down to the fishing port, and headed into one of the old fishing shacks, which had become an onshore office, for the crews visiting Oakridge. John asked a man, sitting near a desk, "I believe you have something for me." The man, realizing who was there, stood up and walked over to a cabinet that was in the office. He opened the door of and pulled out a box. It was covered in postage stamps, like it had traveled the world over. He then walked over, and placed it on the table next to John. "Sign here, please." John signed the document and the man walked away, not saying anything else but apart from saying goodbye. Emily just looked at John, and raised her eyelids upwards, with a smile on her face. "Looks interesting," John replied. "I hadn't ordered anything." "Well, someone did," replied Emily. They left the office, and walked back to Emily's car, which was parked next to the sea wall. Emily asked, "Who is it from?" John looked around the box, and found a name, written in the corner. "William Bentley, London." "It's not my birthday," John said aloud. "Whatever it is, it looks interesting," Emily said back. John started to open it up. It was well wrapped up and had lots of destinations written on the stamps, covering the brown paper it was wrapped in. He opened the lid of the box, and found a letter written from William. Before going any further, he started to read the letter, to Emily, who was by his right side. He began to read. "Dear John and Emily, I hope this letter finds you both well. I wanted to write to you about the package you are now holding. John, I sent it to the Oakridge Fishing Harbor because I know you two would be together somehow. I'm thrilled to hear that you've received the SLS camera that I arranged for you. It's an incredible piece of equipment that I believe will be a valuable addition to your investigations around Oakridge. I got to know about SLS cameras through a friend who has a contact in Edinburgh. They have been using one in their own investigations, primarily in and around Scotland, and have found it to be exceptionally helpful. The technology behind these cameras is truly remarkable, and I'm confident it will assist you in uncovering the mysteries and anomalies in Oakridge. I can't wait to hear about your experiences with the SLS camera and the exciting findings it might reveal. Please keep me updated on your progress and any interesting discoveries you make. Wishing you both the best of luck in your endeavors, and I look forward to catching up soon. Warm regards, your best friend, William." John looked at Emily, and Emily looked back. John opened the box further and pulled out another box. Inside was the camera, and all the things they needed to know. John turned back to Emily, and said, "I've got the perfect place to try this out first, but we need to learn how to use it," and read up on it. This could be the breakthrough we needed for Oakridge and its townfolk. John and Emily embarked on a thrilling adventure one cloudy afternoon. Armed with their trusty SLS camera, they ventured to a disused railway carriage nestled in the eerie woods of Oakridge. The rusty remnants of a bygone era had long been abandoned, shrouded in legends of ghostly apparitions. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows through the dense forest, John and Emily set up their equipment inside the old railway carriage. The creaking doors and the whispering winds added to the ominous atmosphere. It was the perfect setting for a night of ghost hunting. With their SLS camera in hand, they scanned the carriage, hoping to capture something supernatural. At first, their efforts yielded nothing but the spectral glow of trees swaying outside. But as the hours passed, they received a chilling result on their camera's screen, a humanoid figure, outlined in a ghostly blue, standing in the corner of the carriage. Excitement mingled with fear as they tried to communicate with the entity. They asked questions, seeking answers from the mysterious presence. The figure responded with subtle movements, seemingly acknowledging their presence. However, as the night wore on, the figure's responses grew faint, and the atmosphere inside the railway carriage grew increasingly oppressive. John, overcome with curiosity and a desire to capture more evidence, decided to venture out alone into a remote part of the woods. Emily, initially hesitant, watched him disappear into the inky darkness with only a flashlight to guide him, and the rucksack he had on his left shoulder in which the SLS camera was held inside.